The thief only stole 5 yuan, but was surrounded by land, sea, and air forces. The police arrived, the fire department arrived, the TV station arrived, and the negotiator arrived. Even a helicopter was dispatched. It's quite ridiculous, right? But this was a real event. At this time, the thief's heart was very broken. Didn't I just steal 5 yuan? Is it necessary to make such a big fuss? At the same time, he also wanted to slap himself twice. There were so many escape routes, but why did he just happen to choose to climb onto the roof? Now he was stuck tight. Everyone was just watching from a distance, with no action taken. The old man anxiously questioned the police. You're not going to catch him, are you? Are you planning to keep him here for Christmas? The police asked the old man to wait and not to worry. Didn't you see that the thief has a gun? The best thing to do in this situation is to wait it out. Wait until he's exhausted and has no choice but to surrender. At this point, the firefighter next to him got bored and started betting.
$10 says he falls right off that roof.
20 says he makes a leap for the tree.
An hour passed. The beautiful journalist finished her live broadcast and started flirting with the firefighter. 2 hours passed, and the bored firefighters started playing cards. 3 hours passed, and the thief, who was getting thirsty, requested a bucket of chicken with an extra order, and the cola must be with ice. The old man couldn't bear to watch for so long. You're not catching him, but you're ordering food for him? The police explained that promising to order food was to build trust, making it easier to communicate. Just as the words finished, the takeout arrived. That fast? It turned out to be the firefighter's pizza. This made the old man even angrier.
Why does everybody get to eat but me? Maybe I'm hungry too.
Another 4 hours passed, and the firefighters were explaining their love lives, while the two captains were discussing life. 5 hours passed, and the thief, who hadn't gone to the restroom, was about to burst. The firefighters also lost their patience and started to pray for the thief to jump.
Jump.
6 hours passed, and the thief and the negotiator were chatting about daily life. After complaining about his mother and girlfriend, he said that his mother didn't give him an allowance, and his girlfriend always asked for gifts, which was why he stole the money. However, while everyone's attention was elsewhere, the old man quietly left. At this moment, the thief was still complaining to the negotiator. The next second, it was all over. The old man was the true and tragically fell off a cliff and died, leaving the man heartbroken. However, the firefighter in charge of the rescue couldn't help but laugh. What could possibly be going on? An hour ago, the man called the police, reporting that his girlfriend had accidentally fallen off a cliff. The firefighters quickly arrived at the scene. The captain approached the edge of the cliff and saw the woman lying motionless. He called out to her, but there was no response. After estimating the height, the captain believed that the chances of her survival were slim. He decided to send 2 team members down to assess the situation, while the medical team prepared for rescue, gathering necessary medications and equipment. However, just as they were about to take action, a police officer suddenly appeared. He said that he had received a report from an eyewitness, claiming that they saw the man throwing a body off the cliff. This made everyone nervous. Could it be that the woman was killed by her boyfriend and then thrown off the cliff? The police officer continued, stating that based on the description from the eyewitness, the circumstances matched those of a recent missing person. Therefore, it was highly likely that the woman at the bottom of the cliff was the missing person. The police began questioning the man. He explained that he had broken up with his girlfriend earlier that day, and shockingly, she jumped off the cliff after hearing the news. However, when asked about the girlfriend's name, photo, and other information, the man refused to answer, raising suspicion among the police. Meanwhile, 2 firefighters had descended using safety ropes and reached the woman at the bottom of the cliff. To better assess the situation, they turned her over, and to their astonishment, everyone was dumbfounded.
No way.
All right, talk to me.
She lie?
No.
She lied when she went over, you think?
She was never alive. She's a sex doll, Cap.
The situation left everyone in a state of disbelief. Later, the captain learned from the man's psychologist that he had a certain attachment disorder. He had been in a relationship with his girlfriend for over 2 years, and recently, his treatment had started to show results, leading him to decide to end the relationship and start a new life. With this new understanding, the captain decided to help him.
Come on, Chrissy. Stay with us.
God, please let her be okay.
Our pulse is dropping, Cap. We're losing her.
No, damn it.
After putting in great effort, they were able to stop the girlfriend's heart from beating. The entire team was filled with sorrow.
I'm sorry. Her injuries were extremely grave.
Subsequently, the man bid farewell to his girlfriend and expressed his gratitude to the firefighters.
Thank you. You may not have saved her, but I think you saved me.
That's what we're here for.
Entering the garden, the man noticed the ground suddenly tilting. At first, he thought it was just Hysopia playing tricks on his eyes. However, the next day, the ground sank even more severely. He even used a spirit level to measure it and confirmed the sinking. He suspected that something underground was digging tunnels. The first thing that came to his mind was a mole. So, he's spreading a lot of poison around the flower beds, but it didn't work. The ground continued to sink. The man decided to take more drastic measures. He set up numerous rat traps around the area, marking them with small red flags. Then he waited for the rats to take the bait. His wife, however, became very impatient with his obsession. The next day, the man got off work early, but his wife looked panicked. He was confused until he saw one of the small red flags moving. He thought it was a mole that had fallen into the trap. He rushed to check and was surprised to find it empty. What could have triggered the trap? At this point, the man checked the surveillance cameras and suddenly understood what was happening. The next day, he left for work as usual. As soon as he left, his wife became excited and couldn't wait to open the bedroom door, as if she was waiting for someone. However, the next second,
911, what's your emergency?
There's been an explosion.
she was terrified by an unexpected explosion. When she went outside, she saw her husband using dynamite to blast the mole. She hadn't had a chance to stop him when he threw another stick of dynamite.
Is that another song?
Shortly afterward, the firefighters rushed to the scene. The wife, looking nervous, ran out and asked the firefighters to check if he was injured. The firefighters were confused.
Gopher?
No, not the gopher.
Hey, your husband, he seems pretty banged up.
No, not him.
Not a mole, not the husband, then who is he referring to? The wife had no choice but to reveal the truth.
My neighbor, Gary.
It turned out that she enjoyed doing yoga, and the neighbor happened to be a yoga instructor. So, she invited the neighbor to teach her. Her husband disagreed and even installed surveillance cameras in various corners of the yard. The neighbor had no choice but to dig a tunnel. Every day, after the husband left for work, the neighbor would come through the tunnel to teach the wife yoga. Upon learning the truth, the firefighters were shocked, but they had to prioritize saving lives. They crawled through the entrance in the bedroom and sure enough, found the injured neighbor in the tunnel. He was then carefully extricated by the firefighters, luckily with only minor superficial injuries and no serious harm. However, in the end, the husband was arrested on charges of attempted murder.